Lionel Messi has tonight signed for Paris Saint-Germain, officially ending his 21-year stay at Barcelona.
It's been crazy. I can't remember anything similar.
This was the unthinkable. The thing that could not happen has happened.
Will Messi take PSG on? Will he improve them enough in a terrible league to win the Champions League? I don't think so.
Why did the Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar trio fail at PSG? Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr., and Kylian Mbappe, three of the greatest football players in the last 5 years, and frankly some of the greatest attackers in the entire history of football. On paper, these three would make the deadliest attack ever, but somehow, when they actually teamed up in PSG, they failed to live up to expectations. Why? I'll tell you why in this video. Neymar and Mbappe joined PSG in 2017, and together, they managed to lead the club to their first ever Champions League final in 2020. So, when it was announced that Messi would be joining them in 2021, it felt like they had found the final piece of the puzzle, the man who would finally take PSG over the line and lead them to European glory for the first time. We had seen something close to this trio at Barcelona. MSN took the world by storm between 2014 and 2017. So with Mbappe replacing Suarez, we expected the results would be the same or even better. But that was so far from reality. The trio ended up being a failure, and here's why. First of all, their egos. We saw Neymar and Mbappe fight on the pitch over who would take a penalty. We saw Mbappe shove Messi also on the pitch, and then we saw how none of these guys would track back and help the defense, which affected them a lot, especially during big games. But to be honest, their egos were only the least of their problems. These guys are so good that they should have still produced crazy results regardless of their ego and other shortcomings. So, I'll be honest with you, the real problem was the entire system in place at the club. Recruitment at PSG is not great. Yes, they had 3 amazing players up front, but everywhere else, they just weren't up to par. These guys really lined up a midfield of Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, and an aging Verratti in the round of 16 game against Bayern Munich in 2023. They had Danilo Pereira, a midfielder, in defense, teaming up with Sergio Ramos and Marquinhos, who were already past their prime. With a team like this, how did they really expect to win the Champions League or even beat a team like Bayern? But even worse than the recruitment of players was the recruitment of coaches. The first coach who had the MNM trio at his disposal was Mauricio Pochettino, who had never won a major trophy before PSG and even bottled the league in his first season in France. After they sacked him, one would have thought they'd have learned from their mistakes, so they'd go for a coach with some European pedigree like Zinedine Zidane or maybe even Jose Mourinho, but what did they do? They hired Christophe Galtier, a man with 0 experience coaching a big team or being in charge of big players. And it all blew up in their faces because he lost the dressing room and was eventually sacked after getting knocked out in the round of 16 of the Champions League and nearly missing out on the Ligue 1 title. When Galtier was hired, everyone could tell that it was not the best choice for PSG. Well, except the PSG board, apparently. And don't just take my word for it, Leonardo Araujo, PSG's former sporting director, said himself that the club and the managers did not create the right environment for MNM to play at their best. For someone who is on the inside to say this, you just know how bad it was. And honestly, the fans also have to take some responsibility in all of this. They were, to a very large extent, toxic. And that could have affected the players and their performances. We saw fans boo Messi and Neymar more than a few times on their own home ground. And like that wasn't enough, these fans went to these players' homes to harass them, telling them to leave their club. Crazy. And you can't just take the simplistic route by saying that Messi was already finished when he joined PSG, because it was while he was at PSG that he won his 7th Ballon d'Or and led Argentina to World Cup victory in 2022. See, the truth is that Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe are great individual ballers. That can never be in doubt. But the system in place at PSG hindered them from succeeding. that exact same trio at any other club in Europe would have been the greatest front three we have ever seen. But what do you guys think? In your opinion, why did the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe trio fail at PSG? Tell us in the comments. While you do that, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Bye!